this to learn and to see how we can advance our life from point A to B. Last week, I was with the student, academic student, Optimal Academy, the new student who just came in. So we have introductions to business because I'm the lecturer that takes them on entrepreneur. So we want to raise a medical professionals who has a business IQ, who doesn't go through the educational system only to be a job seeker, but want to create a people who go through this educational process to become a job creator. And that is the best we can do to our society today. We need more people who are willing to create job than people who are seeking for the job. So we are living in the world where more are seeking than more are creating. So the vision and the passion of Optimal Academy is to create people who will be a job creator rather than a job seeker. I'm one of the lecturers who takes them on entrepreneur. And some of you who have viewed that, if you have not listened to our last week episode, I think you need to go back on YouTube and on our Optimal TV and view that topic. It's really an elaborate discussion that also we had engagement and interactions with a lot of students because many people have done business. Several people have done 3, 4, 5, 6 business proud to now. And among all these businesses, none of them has bring success. There is a reason for that. It's an intentional thing. To be successful in business, you must be intentional about it. And how do you need to be intentional? The Bible says, those that know they are God, they are the one that will be strong and they will do exploit. So it is your knowledge that determines your height. It says your attitude determines your altitude. So your business attitude determines your business attitude. So because your secret preparation will definitely determine your public manifestation. So what you know in the secret is what you want to display in the open. So it is imperative that we are rich and sufficient in business knowledge. Like I told the student last week, that we are in this world to come and buy and to come and sell. And it is when your buying power is stronger than your selling power that poverty sets in. When your selling power is stronger than your buying power, prosperity is actually going to set in. Because every one of us were in this world to come and do business. At a point, Jesus told the people of his own time that I mind my father's business. So we must know that we are in the world of business. When you fail to do business with your black hair, you are still going to do it with your gray hair. So the earlier, the better. The earlier you know, the better. And let me tell you this. Business is not something you jump into, because when you jump up, you are going to jump down. So people that jump into the business has actually jump out of the business. Business is a lifetime educational program. Business is a lifetime skills that you acquire, and it promotes you from stages to stages. And this promotion is what determines your business advancement. And the more you promoted, the better you perform, and the better it's your business, better the society and humanity at large. Remember, I said it in one of my episodes that nobody owns the business. The business is owned by life itself, and he is a just employer. He rewards you if you are faithful and diligent in what it is. He says, show me a man that is diligent in his business. Is the one that has capacity to stand before king, not before ordinary men. So part of the skills you acquire in the business journey is ability to be diligent. So we are looking into a lot of things. We are looking into the fundamental, what is essential in doing business to succeed. We talk about the role money play. We talk about the skill. We talk about passion. We talk about the two type of business: doing business to survive and doing business to succeed. We've talked about the role of mentorship. Mentor help you to know the method. When you lack method, you fall in the hand of tormentor. When you lack mentor, you'll be tormented. Now we also talks about emotional uh, intelligence. I think that was the last topic we thought before we had the topic with the students. So, and in our last topic before the students session, I talked to you about the area of development. So there are basic area at which you need to develop if you must be successful in business. So we are going to look at one or more of those areas. One of the area of development is what we are also dabble into in the last episode before the students class, which we talks about emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is one of the key factors that determines how far you can go and how well you can do in business. So we have some area of development you need. One of those areas is mental development. For you to succeed in business, you must be mentally developed. So I'm going to talk about mental development. Now, like I've said, I'm going to give you some of these principles and basics in which give you a light on area you need to work more on and also evaluate yourself. Now we are going to talk also about emotional development. Your emotions has to be developed if you must be successful in business. Because if your emotion is not developed, you play into sentiments, and that will go a long way in your business. Business is not emotional. So you must understand the position of empathy and sympathy. All these are part of the emotional development. Then you need what we call spiritual development. You must be able to develop spiritually, because most of the things of life are not physical. There is a role of the spirituality about life, because the things we are seeing are product of the things which are not seen. So emotional spiritual development is also a very important factor in business success. Then you talk about physical development. So you must invest into your physicality. How develop you are physically, your fitness, your posture, your appearance. These are a lot, because if you are not physically developed, it will go a long way to affect you in the business negatively. Then we're also going to talk about social development. So you must be socially developed. In this social development, you learn about interactions. How do you interactions, and these are area of development that are key and factors in business success. So let's look at mental development. Now, mental development is an ability to develop your mind. So when you talk about your mental ability, your mind play a very important role about. So you must develop your mind. Your mind must grow. Your mind must be able to absorb challenges. Your mind must be able to stimulate ideology. Your mind must be able to cope with the changing in weather. Business is going to travel you through different weather, through storms and through light. You're going to travel through rainy season, through cold season, through harmattan, through winter, through autumns, and the likes and the likes. So you're going to know that there are different seasons. It is your mental development that will sustain you and survive you at those points. And that is why Kumaya said, life is a tragedy for those who feel, and a comedy for those who think. So it's your mind that helps your thinking capacity and thinking ability. So mental development is a very important. Your sense of judgment is another important part of your mental development. How do you evaluate things? How do you interpret things? Two things can happen to two people. One laugh over it, one cry over it, and one is bitter over it, and one is broken over it. So we respond to things differently, and this bothers about our level of development. especially our mental development. So your sense of judgment, these are important area of development. You must evaluate your sense of judgment and improve on that area. Your perception of life, how do you perceive life? As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Whatever the mind can conceive and also believe, it can achieve. So different perception determine our influences our life and destiny. So our perception of life also matters in business, because whatever you perceive about life will affect your business decision and your decision making in business, and this will go a long way to either make you or mar you. So your perception is very important. The strength of your understanding, how do you understand it? Say with all that getting, get understanding. So when the book of Proverbs was saying those things, it was not just gainsaying, it was not saying something of abstract, it was saying something of necessity. So with all your that getting, get understanding. So your strength of understanding, these are part of your mental development. So your strength of understanding also affect your sense of judgment. Your sense of understanding also influence your decision making. So all these things are interrelated and interwoven, and they determine a very important part of your business growth. So your sense, your strength of understanding, your mental capacity to handle situations, conflict resolution, conflict responses, how do you respond to change, how do you respond to challenges, how do you respond to difficulties, how do you respond to failure, what is interpretation, your philosophy of life, how do you see failure, what do you consider failures to be? These are all part of development that is essential to your business growth. So your reasoning ability, how reasonable are you, how much can you reason, how strong can you invest time into brainstorming, into creating solution, into solving puzzles, because business is going to throw so many puzzles at you. So your reasoning ability also help you to know how to go about the puzzles of life in business. Then your creativity. So these are mental developments. You must be creative. The business world and the business environment is purely a creative workshop, because when you get an idea or when you get information, you must be able to use this information to create something new that unique you compared to your competitors out there. So your creativity matter. You must be creative. So this borders on your mental development. How sharpened your mental ability is also influences your creative ability. So they are part of your mental development, your creativities, how much you can create, how much you can process information and turn it to a valuable resources to better your humanity. These are what we call creativity. Your imagination, how do you picture, what is the strength of your camera to picture things, to picture the future, because until you can only live in a future you can picture. So your imagination play a vital role on your success. Your sense of projection, you must be able to project. Now you look at situation, narratives, you add different narratives together and you project on business that, okay, because of this and this, let me make this decision, because there is every possibility that the season we're about to get to is possible to favor me or to favor my business. Now we're about to enter rainy season. You must be able to project how does people respond to your business in rainy season. What area of your business contribute to society better during the rainy season. We are also going into fasting, Muslim fasting season. Now, how does business respond to, how does your nature of your business respond to this kind of season? So what do you need to do different What do you need to do better? What do you need to do in a different way that will give you an edge? So all these borders on your mental development, because you need mental stability, mental maturity, mental growth, mental advancement for you to be able to cope and be able to operate in different aspects where your mental development is. Then how do you develop mentally? You develop through information, because information brings transformation. You are product of what you know. Your present life today is a product of what you know yesterday, and your future lies on what you are willing to know today. So you develop mentally through information, several information. We have printed information, and that is why the importance of books is important. I read in a books where Mike Murdoch said, for you to be financially successful, you need to read books that is equivalent to your age on money alone. You need to read books on money that is equivalent to your age. Now you are in business. There are books that have been written in different businesses you are doing. Like my business now, I have a lot of books and books and books and books I've read. I've read so many books. I think reading some of the books that talk so much about my business. I've read about what do you call it, 1 year in network marketing. I read about what's the name of Dream Achiever. I've read. I think this is one of the book I've read and I'm rereading again. See, big all MLM sponsoring magic. And this book, I've read it come full of time. You can see that it's no longer a new book for me. And still, I'm still reading it. And it's giving me a better insight to what I've known about the book before. What about Eric War? Go Pro. Go Pro means you need to go professional. So many people are in this business of mine, network marketing, and they know jack shit of anything. They are only follow every wings of doctrine. Oh, there's a company newly opened. If you can be part of the pioneer first set, you hammer, you do this, you do that. But success in network marketing is more than that. I'm 9 years in the company I am, and I've gotten to the peak, which is honorary chairman status. That's the peak of the ladder. And I have people who were 10 years old in the business before I joined, who are still on the journey to the top. And I got to the top. So it is not luck, it's light. And if you also think it's luck, you are not far from the truth, because luck simply means labor under correct knowledge. So you see that knowledge is a key thing in your business grow now. So it is the knowledge that I have access to that I'm ready to do something about that influences my success so far in KD Healthcare. So this mental development require learning, knowledge, getting information. Last December, I went to a neighboring country and I decided to travel by road. I drove myself into Benin Republic. From Benin Republic, I drove to Ghana. To Togo. From Togo, I drove to Ghana. And it was full of things, a lot of information, a lot of adventures, a lot of opportunity. So I'm playing with from one country to another. I've traveled to Ghana by flight before now, but traveling by road was a whole different ball game. Oh, somebody say, oh, the road is not safe, it's risky. Right? Life is about risk, and your opportunity of life is enshrined in your daring, how much you can dare to take risk. So like that trip give me an eyes opener. It has advanced my mental development as far as regional geographical environment is all about. I could see how the people, the road network is. So tomorrow now, if I want to move a business from Nigerian to Benin Republic, I have business in Benin Republic, of course. I've been to Benin Republic a couple of times. I've driven there I've never driven cross Benin Republic. No, I've never even driven into Benin Republic per se. So, but for the first time, I drove into the Benin Republic. I drove out from Benin Republic to Togo. I drove from Togo down to Ghana. It was oh wow experience. It has enlarged my thinking. It has enlarged my adventure. It has enlarged my perception about those country. I've never been to Togo before. I've been to Benin. I've been to Ghana. So I only fly. But for the very first time I travel, so I have eyes open. I saw a lot of business opportunity. I saw need in those countries. I saw the need on the different borderline. I saw the way people were related, were attended to in the different borderline. I saw a lot of differences in how those immigrations and custom of different countries relate with strangers, relate with foreigners, relate with Nigerian in particular. And this gave me a more mental development. It may give me mental toughness. It has improved my mental ability, my mental capacity, how I can cope with a situation. Traveling to a country where you have language differences, language barrier. I travel with my family, of course, so it was more or less a family tour. So we're about two families that would travel together with children and our wives, and it was wow. And my intention was business-oriented intention, so not really for holiday per se. So I have an idea that I want to look at the demography of this country and relate to people from the locals. So I saw different towns of those country which I won't be privileged to have access to if I have gone by flight. So I saw the way, I saw business, I saw trade of different region, different city, different town, different villages. I saw attitude, I saw responses. So what am I bringing out? I'm talking about mental development. So these are a lot in developing you mentally. So part of what you need for business success is your mental development. And you develop mentally through information, through adventure, through exploration. So these are the key of what you need and the area of development that are essential in your business growth. I believe we are learned some things as I added to what we've learned before, and this is where I'm going to hold on today. Then in our next episode, we'll talk more about other area of development. So thank you for making today a success. It is your personal person, Dr. Zion. God bless you. See you in our next episode. Thank you very much.